welcome to my journey. Y'all know it's thrifting day. Listen, I ain't got the heat on in my car because I got out here a little bit too early to let it warm up because it is freezing. That crazy fake spring has come back to winter for a few days, and then by the end of the week, sometime in the 7-day forecast, we're supposed to be up in the 80s. So it's just crazy. But it is thrifting day, and I've got to make a stop first. I've got to go to the psychiatrist. If you're new here, I don't make no bones about that I go to a psychiatrist. I don't hide it. I advocate for it. If you have mental problems, then if you need to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or whoever, then that's what you need to do. I couldn't make it without mine. I couldn't make it without my medication. Bottom line. So today is a follow-up from when we had to change my medication when the new insurance took over this year. So we had to change it, and so we're doing a follow-up to see how it's been doing. I don't know how it's been doing. I really don't. There's times I think it's doing good, and then there's times I think it's not. Sometimes I wonder, is it just me that is having the issues? I don't know. We'll talk about that today. But listen, that's a PSA. If you need help for your mental health, what was that? Please seek it out. Don't be ashamed. Don't worry about no stigma attached. None of that malarkey. You just go see somebody. I'm thankful I found mine every day. I'm having a iced coffee. I think last time I used it, I called it brown butter. It's brown sugar. I was thinking, did I say brown butter the last time I had it? But it's the Starbucks brown sugar creamer. It's really good. What I do is I put the Stoke, the blonde, the light, whatever it's called, it's in the yellow label. I put that in there, then I put some creamer, and then fill it up with milk. I used to do almond milk all the time, but I like the texture of the feel of the whole milk. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't bother y'all, because it is so cold. That's why I got this big sweatshirt on. But my other PSA for the day is a more lighthearted one. If your bloomers is too big, throw them away and buy you some new ones. There, I said it. I have complained about mine for so long now. They were droopy like I was wearing a diaper. I could not keep them up and on. So finally, last weekend, I told David, I said, I've got to. You know, why do we hate buying stuff like that? We'll spend money on all kinds of stuff, but when it comes down to bloomers or bras or anything like that, we don't want to spend the money. But those are just important garments as your outer clothes. So I went, and from the size I was in, I had to go down 2 sizes. But the thing is, from the biggest I ever was, I'm either down 5 or 6 sizes. It's either, I can't remember where I topped out. It's either 5 or 6 sizes down from losing the weight. Yeah, but these, I'm gonna tell you what, ain't much better than wearing a pair of bloomers that fits your booty, that don't hang down. Oh my gosh, they're so comfortable. So, if your bloomers is hanging too big, honey, throw them out. Throw them out. Go to the store, get you some. And then listen, I'm gonna tell you, I know y'all be saying, don't talk about that NASCAR all the time. Well, guess what? I will talk about it until I feel like not talking about it. But this is different. So in the mornings I get up, I check my Facebook memories, and then I always check my my comments on my videos to make sure I get everybody responded to. There was a comment this morning that just flat out made me cry because it got me all over the whole experience again. I pinned the comment, go to my video of where I rode along, and look at the comment. I pinned it so you wouldn't miss it. And go look at that comment. Is a guy named Josh Bowen. He says, I was your driver. He found my video and commented telling me he was my, I'm going to the wrong doctor. I have to go down here and turn around. Am I going to the wrong doctor? No, I'm going to the, no, I'm going to the right. No, I'm going to the wrong doctor. Golly, it's going to put me even farther behind. See, I got one doctor I come out of my road and take a left, and one I come out and take a right, and I should have took a right because in my mind I was going here, and this is not the right way. So this is gonna be a turnaround. Ain't that crazy? Well, I can turn around right down here at the 7-Eleven. Oh gosh, I'm gonna be cutting it close. Luckily, they're behind a lot. Sad to say, but I think when you're working with patients in there for psychiatric problems, you're getting a lot of talkers, I imagine. You know what I mean? But he told me, he said, I was your driver, and he was happy to make my day special. And well, I'm just sitting right out in front of y'all because I got places to be. And so I did a search because I told y'all he had his thing on, his helmet on the whole time. I don't know who he was. I didn't have a clue. And I'm like, well, I want to see what he looked like. So I just searched him. I didn't do no deep dive, no stalker deep dive to find out like what kind of cologne he wears or anything like. You know what I mean? I just wanted to do a quick little. Oh my gosh! I'm talking to y'all. Went right through the intersection. This is not cool. Luckily, this cuts right through and gets back to the road I need to go to. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. But I looked him up and I found two things. One where he was a speaker at I can't remember what the place was called, but when on their page it said their speaker was Josh Bowen, NASCAR racing experience chaplain. How cool is that? So I saw him on Instagram, and I saw what he looks like. And he's a young guy. He's got a little girl, and she races. Looks like some form of go-kart or something. She looks to be like maybe 9 years old, I guess, maybe something like that. I don't know, but I thought, how cool was that? It was so sweet. I'm sure he was probably like looking up and seeing like who filmed for the weekend when they had their time, whatever. And I'm sure that's how he, came across me. But he didn't have to comment. I mean, how sweet was that? So, of course, I give him back a long, no turn on red. Doggone it. I give him a long response because he made my day. I told y'all he made my day. I told y'all I had the best driver. So, I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, I'm not going to make it to the doctor in time. I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. Let's just turn green since I can't turn on red. Please, please, please. Hurry, please. Oh, thank goodness I got gas. I just happened to think, did I get gas? But I did. See, there's no cars coming and it says no turn on red. And it's not turning. Because where I got to go is like a half hour. And I've got 20 minutes to get there. Really? I do not recall this light being so long. I'm going to turn on red. I'm going to get me a ticket. Well, I'm turning on red. I just broke the law. I just don't have all day to sit there. That light is usually not so long. When you're coming the other way, it moves pretty quickly. I guess because there's not much traffic coming out, because that's where they built a new gas station and whatnot. There's an actual race team back down in there too. Okay, now it's starting to warm up in here. But I know I'm gonna go to my Goodwill. I'm thinking, because it's gonna put me behind a good hour, gosh, 2 hours maybe? Put me behind about 2 hours. See, my appointment's at 9:45, but since it's so far away, if it was like in town, I would have had time to go to my Goodwill when they opened at 9 and then made it, but it's not in town. So I can't decide and from where it is if I wanted to go to Charlotte, it's quicker to come all the way back home and then go than to go the long way that it would have me to go to get to Charlotte, and then to try to come back to North Charlotte is just way too long. It's not a feasible way to get from there to Charlotte where I need to go. I would have to get on 77 and just motivate and travel way too much than necessary. So I know I'll come back home this same way, because where I turned there was on the way to my Goodwill. And then I'll decide then, depending on the time, if I want to head on over to the 2 Charlotte Goodwills or just skip them this week. I do know this, I'm getting some more of them socks, and I know my Goodwill has them, so I don't have to go to Charlotte to get them. But those socks I bought, was it last week I just bought them? Oh my gosh, I love them 10 times more than the ones I love from Dollar Tree. And that got me out of having to darn those socks too, because I'm not going to fix them if I don't like them. I loved them until I found these, and now I love these. I'll have to tell you when I get them what size they fit. I think they fit man's 10 to 13 or something like that, if I remember correctly. And that's what I wear, man's shoe 12. And women's socks, it's hard to find women's socks to fit because they don't make that many big women's socks. And if you do, even though they're the size, they're still tight. And even though I've lost weight, I still have big feet, and my ankles aren't super skinny. I still have like that little puff of skin around them. So these are very soft. They go on smooth. They stretch nicely. They're thicker. They're softer. I like them much better. So they were $3.99 for 3 pair. They had black and they had white. You can't get your discount on them because they're a new item. That's fine by me, because $4 for 3 pair of good socks, oh, excuse me, is fine with me. So I'm gonna get another pair of black and another pair of white. I like them a lot. But I'll be sure to show them to you in case you're there and you find them. Because I tell you, if you're like me and you got big feet or swollen feet, used to, oh my gosh, my feet were so swollen. It's hard, I could get hardly any socks on them. And my legs were so swollen, the socks wouldn't go up my legs, and they would cut off the circulation down at the ankle. My legs losing all the weight. I was laying in bed. Was it laying in bed? I was somewhere. Gosh, my nose is itching. And I looked down at my leg, and all I could see was the top. Not the flabby, hangy stuff. Just the top. I'm like, oh my gosh. That is a skinny leg. Compared to what I had, let me tell you. That's a skinny leg. But then when you look at it and you see all the blob around it, then you're like, well, that's where the big part comes from. If I could go in, you know, like I've seen these corn stripper. You like put an ear of corn on it and you like squeeze it and you pull that ear of corn through and it strips off them kernels. If I could go in a fat and skin stripping machine, then I could get rid of some of this stuff. I don't know. I've thought about like skin removal surgery, which I don't think I'd be eligible for it now because I still have fat on my body. But honestly, they say it's a painful surgery to have. I don't know that I want to do that, you know. I don't know that I want to go through that pain just to get rid of some flab. I mean, yeah, I would look better, but we all know I'm not vain. So, I mean, I like looking nice. Not that I ever do, but sometimes I like to look nice. And not really for other people, just for me, for my husband, you know? So, anyway, I don't know. Okay, whew, it is getting warm in here now. Look at them red pear trees. Bloomed and bloomed and bloomed. It's going to freeze tonight and tomorrow. Maybe another night, or maybe last night. A lot of trees are getting their buds. So I don't know if that's going to ruin them or not. So anyway, well, I don't know what else to talk about. What did we do this weekend? Oh, I will tell you, we didn't do nothing this weekend. Me and David didn't go nowhere this weekend. That's why you didn't see no video. Because I've had him with me for how long now? We've been going out and about. Well, this week, we did go out and about because there was an estate sale over behind the Y. I think I mentioned it. I was going to go to it. We get there and it's not even on. So we looked, we couldn't find it. It was nowhere. Well, then I looked on Marketplace and there was another one. I'm like, well, let's go check it out. No, there was no estate sale. No signs, no cars, no nothing. So we just come on home. He worked out in the building. He did, I don't know what all he did in the building. Did this, did that. Changed the oil in his Cub Cadet. And I don't know what all he did. And I cleaned up the big room. Holy cow. That room was a ramsack. Every box we get something in, I just throw it in the building because I'm saving it for when I finally get around to selling my eBay stuff. I'm getting closer because I got my craft room organized, my desk organized to better utilize eBay business. So I went out there and there's like a little cubby, well, I mean, it's a decent size behind the freezer where David takes off his muddy boots and his greasy clothes when he's been working outside. He drops everything down there so he don't drag it up in the house. Well, excuse me, that's where I threw all the boxes and the wraps and all that stuff. I've got a yawn. Just to get out of the way. And then I started organizing. I got a whole bunch of stuff put back in the building that needed to be in the building. I even bought a new tub to put some stuff in, and turns out 3 of the tubs I had stacked up down there, them nice heavy ones you get at Walmart's with either the red or the yellow, they're black with either the red or the yellow lid, they're very sturdy, less than $10 for the size I get. They're very worth it. And I went to see what was in one, and guess what? All 3 of them was empty, and I just spent money on one that I didn't know that I had 3 empty ones sitting there. So I can probably take some of my older, flimsier tubs and put like my Halloween stuff in it, and maybe a couple of the smaller ones, and condense down into one. That's a project for another day. And it looks so nice as far as being a junk room. It looks so nice. And then now my next project is to pull all the boxes out. And I am going to take one of those empty tubs and put in my bubble wraps and papers and things like that come in when you get a package so I can use it. Because before I thought, well, I'm just going to have to put this stuff in plastic bags and just have plastic bags of it laying around. But now I'll just put it all in that tub and it'll be easier to dig through and see what I got. And then I'm going to try to stack boxes inside of each other to not have just thrown everywhere. And I had my little side table when I got my lamp table, you know, that I put there, which I really like it. I really do. I just wish it wasn't wobbly, but whatever. I'm just very careful. Jacob, he knows to be careful. Although he did want to know, why did I buy a table that was wobbly? I said, well, honey, I didn't know it was going to be wobbly on the carpet. Listen, should I have this up here? I was not even paying attention. There, I think, oh, that does help, doesn't it? I'm sorry. Listen, I know y'all used to it by now, but it's still aggravating because it aggravates me when I edit. So I put it out on the curb. I took a donation stuff from me and Holly. I took it down to C-Van Saturday. And as I typically do, I drive up, donate my stuff, and then park and go in. Sometimes I don't. A lot of times I do. So I did Saturday. I found two things. What did I find? Found a pair of shorts and a Halloween idea cookbook type thing. This is a nice one too. So that's what I got. Hopefully I'll have my Halloween party this year, because last year Holly had just had Wesley, and she was in the hospital, so there was no, and Mama says she wasn't feeling good, so I didn't have my Halloween party last year. That's the first time in years. But hopefully we'll get back around to having it this year, because y'all know how I love my Halloween party. But anyway, I put that table out there because C-Van, they're not big. They don't take furniture and stuff like that, because they don't have a big enough building to put it in. And they don't take toys either. So I put it out on the curb. It's a nice little table. I actually got it from somebody for free. They were moving and they were getting rid of it. So I'm like, well, I want that. So I got it. And it's a nice table. It's not beat up or anything. It's just a nice table. It's got a drawer and then a cabinet under the bottom. It's almost like a natural wood color. It's nice. Nobody has took it. I put some stuff on that road that I think is junk, and it gets gone. And then I finally put something nice out there, and nobody wants it. It's rained on it now. I don't know if anybody wanted it at all. Listen, that storm we were supposed to get yesterday, we didn't get it. Thank goodness. I squirt that out the side of my straw often. There was areas in Kannapolis that had some damage. Surrounding Charlotte, surrounding counties around us all had damage. There was a tornado hit Charlotte and tore up a building. So we were supposed to have major winds, tornadoes, thunder, lightning. We got a little bit of rain off and on all day, some wind. I thought it stopped, and then later on, up in the afternoon, it come through again. Not much, nothing to even blink at. Oh, there was a tree limb fell. So we were spared, thankfully. But I had went out there and turned on because I have 4 chairs, and each chair has a pillow. Oh my gosh, I'm 5 minutes from my appointment, and I'm not even there. I hate being late. I've told y'all time and time again, being early is on time, being on time is late. Well, today, late is late. I don't really want to speed and get a ticket, but I'm never late. I'm never late. Now, I have had to sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. But I'm not the one that wants to cause the lateness. So, I don't even know what I was saying. I just happened to look at, I shouldn't even looked at the clock. Oh, what are y'all doing? Oh, now, am I going to be able to get around this car, or is there traffic coming? Some kind of budget rental. Oh, there's a car. Thank you. He was looking for me. I don't know if they're out. He's a budget truck, rental truck, but he was dragging a garbage can across the road. So I don't know if... Oh, okay, garbage cans are on this side road. He might have been using that, but dragging his own can back across the street. Listen, we need a new recycle can. They have tore our lid up. I could probably call the city and get us one, because you go to close it and the back end is so broke in it just falls into the can. They have repaved this road since I've been here, I think. It's nice and smooth. I don't even know what we was talking about. What were we talking about? Oh, the weather. So yeah, I went out there and put down my chairs, because their rocking chairs are heavy, metal rocking chairs, and they got a pillow in them. So I turned them upside down on top of the pillow and set my 2 plants down. The one plant that I don't like, the weather hadn't affected it at all. My aloes are turning kind of peaked looking, which I don't care if I'll lose them either. I got plenty. The one I got in the house, it'll multiply if I need more. And then nothing came, so I went out there and set them back up. And then later on in the afternoon, I heard the wind whipping. I didn't even look out there this morning to see if it blew anything around. All right, well, I'm gonna quit talking, and I'll come. Yeah, if I hadn't got myself, I said I was gonna quit talking. Listen, these traffic circles, they put them everywhere around our area now. It's just like, okay, if you want a traffic circle, if you're making a new road or changing up a road, you're getting a traffic circle. One of RJ's ex-girlfriend, she called them death circles. They had to take me to the hospital in Huntersville one night, because that's where I'd go to the hospital. The hospital situation I go to now, the not situation, the system that I go to now, I refuse, because I had a terrible experience with them some years back. I said, I don't care if I die on the way to the other one that's in Huntersville, because you had to go, that's a half-hour away. I said, I don't care. I told my children and my husband both. I said, I don't care if I die on the way. Do not take me down here. This is where I go now. And they knew it. Well, I was doing something, folding laundry or something, and that's when I was at my heaviest. And my knee knocked out a joint, and I couldn't move. So I called RJ, and him and his girlfriend at the time come to get me. They basically had to carry me to the car and shove me in it, because I couldn't walk, because I couldn't move my leg. So we had to go through one of them traffic circles, and she said, oh, she hates these death circles. And I just remember being in the back, laying in the seat, and RJ is like, literally no one has ever died on one of these. They scared her to death. She hated them. And that's the one thing I will always remember about that ride to the hospital, is those death circles. And literally no one has ever died on one. It's so funny. Oh gosh. But I still wish I went to that health system, because I do like it better, but insurance dropped them. Just dropped them like a hot potato. Listen, you know, I told you my back doctor, he'd done all he could do, so he referred me to the surgeon to get me an MRI first. So I got my MRI set up for the 31st, and the girl told me, she said, when I see that your MRI's been set up, I'll call you. Well, she never did. So I sent him a message and said, my MRI is the 31st, can I go ahead and get it set up with the doctor? And she wrote me back, and she said, well, you normally see the other doctor. She said, but I'll go ahead and put you in. He's only here on Thursdays. And so I wrote her back and told her, I said, well, he did refer me to him. So I'll have to change. I go to him April the 2nd. So that's just a couple days after my MRI. So that's quick. Okay, so my appointment started 1 minute ago, and I'm about 10 minutes away. Y'all don't know how anxious this makes me. Oh my gosh, you just don't know. I'm almost sick to my stomach. That is how bad being on time is important to me. Literally, my stomach is doing flip-flops. I'm not joking. I'm not even joking. So I go see the back surgeon just to see what he has to say. That's what the doctor told me. He said, you can go, we'll get you an MRI. He said, there's no sense to see him just for him to say, well, we got to have an MRI. And then I'll see you again. He says, no sense in that. He said, I'll just order the MRI and then you make the appointment with him because he's done all he can do. There's no more ablations and nerve blocks and this and that and the other. None of it's working. So he said, going to him doesn't mean you're going to get surgery, but it will give you your options. Like, is this a good time to do it? Do I need to just live with it for so much longer? Blah, blah, blah. Because, you know, it's like I told him, I said, it's not like, now, at first, when it first started going down, I guess it was in its active moving stage, pinching together. And it was excruciating. I mean, I would double over in pain, crying, drooling out of my mouth. It was terrible. It was, oh my gosh, some of the worst pain in my life. I think I would have had more babies other than go through that again. But now it's, the two are fused. They're still completely pinched off on the one spot. It's completely pinched off. And he said that's the part he can go in and relieve the pressure. But he said you can at least talk to him. Okay, we're going to be there for 10 minutes. It just seemed like it was that long. We're getting closer. Listen, he's out here on the lake. It's nice out here where he's at. Nice. This is Davidson's, where Davidson College is. It's a nice little town. Little college town. But so I'll see him just to see. But I told my doctor, I said, it's not an excruciating pain, but it's a pain that never goes away. I said, so I don't really know. He goes, well, you can talk to him and he can tell you, you know, what the options are. Oh, we're getting close. We're getting close. You have to go back through this like townhome condominium area. There's a little private school right there on the corner. You go down here to these waterfront condominiums. It's a nice little place. And when you're sitting in the office, you can look right out in over to the see, right there's the water over to the lake. Very nice. Well, I'm gonna get off here because as soon as I park, I got to run upstairs. So I'll probably come back on, if I got anything to talk about, I'll come back on before we hit the thrift stores. How about that? Okay, well, I got through at my doctor and I didn't record. I just come on down to the Goodwill, the first Goodwill I'm typically go to. I did get my socks, but look, they're size 9 to, I was thinking they were men's 10 to 13, but they're 9, this is the same sock, 9 to 11. So I guess they're women's 9 to 11, because typically you don't see a 9 to 11 in a men's size. It's 10 to 13. So I'm assuming these are women's socks. I don't know. Anyway, $3.99 a piece. They're not part of the 25% off. I had to pay for them separately. The other person didn't make me do that. Of course, that might have been the only thing I bought. Might have been. I'm not sure. But then I found these. I just wanted them. These little old cocktail forks. I couldn't see because they got them taped up, but somebody broke in the box. Look. Oh, I'll pull one out. Check it out. Ask me why I had to have them. I don't know. I might use them at one of our parties. But they had 2 of them and I got 2 of them. They're $1.99, but got them on sale. And then look at this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to find somewhere to put it. Somebody worked hard on this. I can't show you the whole thing in one. Let me make sure I got it right side up. It's a little small, I don't know if it's a wall hanging, a lap quilt. I don't really know what it is, but it's beautiful. And look, it's handmade. You see, somebody worked hard on this. Look at this. I'm gonna hold it up and pull it up. Is that not gorgeous? $1.99. That's all. The after my discount, the 2 little forks and the, let me make sure ain't nobody coming, because boy, it is crowded up in here today. I got lucky to find a parking place. The 2 little forks and the, whatever it is, the thing, what would you call it? Give me some ideas. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but something's gonna be done with it. Anyway, all 3 of those things together, tax and all, was $3.19. You can't beat that with a stick. Oh, slow down, child. They come flying around the corner, knowing it's a blind corner with them bushes. Goodness. Well, I was deciding if I was going to go to Charlotte or not. I am. I'm going to go right out here and hit the interstate and go. I'm 2 hours behind, so it's going to put me getting home. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate seeing somebody broke down on the road, because I have been there and it is not a fun situation to be in at all. But I thought, I'm behind schedule a couple hours, but I'll either cook something easy or I'll stop and get us chicken. Listen, I have all the, me and the psychiatrist was talking about that today. I have all the energy in the world to go out and thrift and all this and that. He said his girlfriend, she likes to go to Habitat. I said, has she been to Salisbury? He said, no. I said, oh, and she works there too. She wasn't in her office because he was going to let me talk to her. And I said, well, tell her she needs to go to the one in Salisbury. So, anyway, I learned a lot about him today. We talked a lot about him and how he grew up and stuff. It's pretty cool. He's a cool dude. He's 50. So I couldn't be his mama, you know, but I could be his like big sister. How about that? But I told him, I said, I don't understand. Is it me? Am I lazy? Because I've got all the energy in the world. Like Tuesday's my thrifting. I said, you're cutting into my thrifting. He says, oh, then we got to get out of here. I said, I got the energy to go out and get in and out of the car. I said, I went and did the racing thing. I stood around all day for 4 hours. I was in and out doing all this and that and the other. I said, I got all the energy for that. I said, I dragged David off on Saturdays, gallivanting around. I said, I got the energy for that. I said, but when I'm home, I don't want to do nothing. I said, if it's just something crappy, I don't want to do it. I said, but I got all this energy for fun things. He said, well, that's this medicine I'm on. He said, and I told him too, I said, I think I've been in a manic state because there's signs that I recognize. And it's like I told him, I said, it's just like when you've lived with it as long as I have. I'm bipolar, in case you're new. When you've lived with it as long as I have, you learn to recognize the, are you going there, Duty? I think he is. The stages, if you're manic or if you're depressed. You can pick up on them, but you can't always control them. That's the thing. Sometimes, like I told him, I said, it's like I'm on the outside looking in, where I know what's happening, but I can't really control it. He said, one of the things, he said, is impulse control. I said, exactly. He said, we can try. He said, you know, we're of the age, talking about me, when we get older, we get tired and we don't feel like doing stuff. He said, so it's really hard to tell, you know, are you depressed? Is it just, you're just tired, you know? He said, we can go up. He said, one of the things your medicine causes, it does cause more of a mania. He said, but if you notice that you're going too manic, he said, you let me know, we'll drop it right back. And I said, okay, well, let's try it. I said, I just asked him, I said, am I lazy? And he's like, no. He said, and that's what we were talking about. It's just, you know, all these other little things that can come into play. So we're going to up my medicine. He said, you have room to go up. But he told me something. He said, I'm not supposed to tell you this. Because I was telling him, I said, yeah. I said, because I love him to death. Love him to death. I said, I remember the first time I ever met you. I said, and it was nothing personal against you because I didn't know you. I said, but with my regular psychiatrist, I said, he's the first one I'd ever seen. And he's the only person I felt safe with bearing my soul to. I did not feel safe with anybody else. I said, and I remember he asking me the first time, did I mind if you come in? I said, to myself, I thought, yes, I do mind. I said, but I didn't say that. I said, and then when I got to know you, I just love you to death. He said, okay, well, don't miss your next appointment, because I got an appointment with my other psychiatrist in April. I said, oh, I won't. And I didn't think really much of it. He goes, no, really, really don't miss your appointment. I said, okay. He said, I really shouldn't tell you this. He said, but I think he's going to quit seeing patients. I said, what? He's out in California. He worked with the Navy. I told you he's not working with the Navy anymore. Well, he got with a private group. He said they're working him to death. He said he's back to where, like when he was with the Navy, he could spend an hour with the patient. He said now it's back, okay, you got your 15 minutes. And he says he's back to seeing 20 and 30 a day, and he's working Saturdays. He said they're working him to death. He says, so I'm not seeing any bookings for the future, no appointments. He said the writing's kind of on the wall. He knows, but he couldn't just flat out say he knew. But he told me, he said, just don't miss it. He said, because I don't want you to miss your last time with him. He said, I really shouldn't tell you that. He said, don't tell him. He said, I don't care if you do. I said, no, I'm not going to tell him. I wouldn't tell him. So I'm glad he told me that, so then I could be prepared and go ahead and get all my crying. I held myself in. I cried this morning when I read my comment from a little race car driver. I cried because it got me all back in my feels again. And I held it back today. I'm like, no, don't cry. Don't cry. And I'm sure I'll cry when I see him. And he tells me I'll never get to see him again. He's the first psychiatrist I've ever seen. All other medicines that I was given for depression, which started with postpartum depression when I had Holly, was my family physicians. And finally it just got to the point where she's like, you need to go see an actual psychiatrist. So then that's when I found him many years ago, and I've been with him ever since. And then I've been with Ben too. So he told me, he said, well, I guess you're just stuck with me. I said, that's fine by me. And I gave him a big old hug. Lord, he's a big old tall thing. Big old tall thing. He's probably got a good 2-3 inches on David. Tall and skinny. So is my back surgeon doctor. Lord, if he ain't 6'5", he ain't an inch. And I bet if Ben ain't 6'5", he ain't an inch. And my knee doctor, the knee surgeon, he was at least 6'5". I tell you, I run into all these big tall men. I like a tall man. I've told you all that before. I'm not lusting after these men. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just like tall men. I seen a reel. I don't know if it was AI or if it was real. I don't know. But this little policeman was pulling over this giant. He was a giant of a man. The policeman was a tiny man. Oh, okay. I started saying, I'm supposed to turn, but I'm not going to Trader Joe's. I do have to get up here and get in that lane, though. And he was like, put your hands on the top of your head. He couldn't even reach up there to put no handcuffs on him. I'm like, that can't be, that can't be real. But that guy wasn't just tall. He was big, muscular. I don't even know how he was in the car that he was standing beside of, come to think of it. So it probably was AI. I tell you, you just don't know what to believe these days. It's helpful when you ask it questions and stuff like that. But as far as pictures and things like that, it's kind of hard to know what is real and what ain't. Kind of scary. But I do ask ChatGPT things sometimes. It's just to me, it's just another source of information. But so anyway, I had a very productive psychiatrist appointment. And like I said, be sure to go if you need to. Don't worry about no stigma attached to it. Because I'm proud that I go. I'm not letting my mental health issues take a back seat. Listen, I got a family and grandchildren that need somebody with half of her right mind. Oh, I'm about to take the wrong exit. Because I sometimes go to that other one first. I'm going to this one first. Let's see. I think I can move that. Well, I'm just going to head down here to this Goodwill. I don't reckon I got nothing else to talk about, so I'll talk to you if I got anything. Okay, so I went to the first Goodwill and then this Goodwill, and I thought I would just show you what I got from both of those. You know those pretty green sconce candle holders? I think that's what you call them. I don't know. If you remember a few weeks back, I got them. I said I'm looking for wood candle holders because that's in my vision what I wanted. Well, I found these. Was not in my vision, but they're wood, and I can paint them. I think I want them brown. But here's the thing. They're $1.99 a piece, but I got up there and she said, well, these are half price because of the date. I said, am I senior discount? She said, yes. So I got both of these for $1.50-some. So even if they don't look like I want them to look, I'm not really out a whole lot, you know. And then at this senior day, all I found was some books. And as soon as I saw this one, I knew it was from Kannapolis. It says, I knew it was a church book, but it says, what's cooking at West A? I knew it. I knew what church it was. West A Church of God. Opened it up, sure enough it was. Been to that church before. Was in a wedding at that church. Kannapolis, 2011 I think it was. So you know I had to buy that. I mean, that's a hometown cookbook. And then I found this one. I'm not keto, but you can find your low carb recipes and a lot of times high protein recipes in this. And this was a nice big book, and I flipped through and it looked like there were some things that I would consider eating. I can do this to a book. I ain't gonna eat nothing in there. This one looked like it had some things that we might would eat, so I picked it up. And then I picked up this Dinners in the Freezer, and I honestly can't remember if I had this book or not. I have freezer cooking books because I like it. I used to, and I don't remember if I have this one or not, so I got it. But I used to follow a woman not long after the internet even started. I was on AOL. Her name is Deborah Taylor Huff, and she did OMAC, once a month cooking, and that is where I learned, well, I think I need new brakes, the joy and helpfulness of cooking for the freezer was from her. And so I used to have, way back in the day, freezer cooking days where I would cook up, and I mean, I did that for years, especially when my family was at home with the kids, you know. I always would cook stuff and put it in the freezer. I mean, I would do it when I was married to RJ's daddy, but I got more into it after finding her. I got even more into it. So I have a few books about freezer cooking. Do I necessarily use them and use the recipes? No, but I don't know, they give me inspiration to freeze what I think I can. My view is, I feel like if the store can freeze it, I can too. Yeah, they probably have, you know, not probably, they have professional equipment and freezers and all this and that. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, that's not blocking me. There's a fire truck and a rescue squad up there, but it's up the hill. I was thinking it was right here in my intersection, but it's not. I hope everybody's okay. So I need to find me something to eat. I need to, and I thought about it yesterday. I thought about making me, because like when I used to go to Duke, see about my back, I would take especially because I was on Weight Watchers at the time, I would take my snacks and lunches and things like that, and in my little cooler bag, it's a cooler that's got a freeze pack in the sides, and you keep it in the freezer, so it's built-in cold freeze packs. I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, I need to boil some eggs, which I want some anyway for my salads, and take some things and take me a little snack box like I used to take up there, so I have something to eat in the car. Today, I know, like last week, and I've been real good not eating when I'm out and about. I'll wait until I get home, but I am out of tissues. Am I out of tissues? Oh no. I'll just have to keep doing that, I guess. I do good about going home, but today, being 2 hours behind, and I ate my breakfast early this morning because I was up early and I was hungry early, so it's been a long time since I've eaten and I'm getting hungry. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to break down. Oh, looky there in front of me. NC Alumni, Carolina. That's my shirt I got on. There's alumni in front of me. Listen, I visited there one time just to go see somebody. No, 2 times. I visited there 2 times to go see somebody when I was in college. I was smart, but I was not Chapel Hill smart. So, but growing up, that's who my mama liked. And so, by default, that's who we like. We just grew up. Back then, I think more now it's a Chapel Hill Duke rivalry. Back then, it was Chapel Hill and State. UNC, Chapel Hill, NC State, Wolfpack, Tar Heels. That was the rivalry back then. Now, I think it's more of a Tar Heel Blue Devils thing, I think. I don't watch basketball. Whew, now I'm getting hot. Turn that on. It wasn't supposed to be 47 today. I thought, well, I better wear this big thing, because I didn't feel like wearing a jacket, having it just dragging all over the place. But anyway, like I was saying, I think I'm going to have to find me something to eat. I don't really know what. I'm going to be on the interstate. I don't really feel like getting off the interstate, but it's something I could eat on the way to Salisbury. I like eating in the car. I don't know why, I always have. I like eating in the car. I like driving in the car. I like listening to my music in the car. I like getting in the car. I just like it. Now, Saturday, I don't even want to say what we're going to do Saturday, because I said last week what we was going to do, and dog go, oh, I see a daddy work truck behind me. Jinxed it, and then the East State sales wasn't open, but I know what I want to do Saturday. I know what I want to do. And I'm not going to tell you, because I don't want something to happen. But it's out of town, I'll tell you that much. And it's with me and David. So, but, well, I could get off up here. Concord Meals. Get me something to cook out, but their food's so messy. I do not want to drip anything on my shirt. I like my shirt. Oh, somebody's got to let me go. I am behind a trailer hauling a truck, pickup truck. I don't like that. That stuff makes me nervous. Oh, he's got 3 vehicles on there. I don't like them big car haulers. Double deckers, I won't get behind them. No, log trucks, nothing that's got anything that's going to fall off. I don't like plumbing trucks with ladders. Nothing's that's going to fall off at all. But I am going to have to find me something to eat, I do believe. So anyway, well, that's all I know. I'll be back to tell you something. Okay, I went to Nazareth. And I found one thing, pair of capris, but they're like not thick windbreaker material. I don't know what I am not good with materials, with descriptions. It says polyester spandex, whatever. Zenergy by Chico's, but they're like stretch on the back, and they got like little pockets. I just thought that's just a lightweight little spring thing. And then I come over here. I wasn't gonna stop at the Goodwill that's right over. I'm like, just go ahead and stop. Well, look what I found. A set of 2 Pampered Chef, I guess this is bamboo bowls for $5. You heard me. $5. Do I need bowls? No. Did I have to have them? Yes. Listen, let me tell you, while I was up in the, I am sitting right by the thing. I have to go straight. I wasn't thinking where I was at. Up on the curb. I was hitting up on the curb where they got a little walkway and flowers. Well, I guess one day there'll be flowers. There was a woman in there, and the jewelry cases that I told you about last week are right there at the checkout. The woman wasn't at the checkout, and the checkout woman went there, and then this lady had her stuff sitting on the jewelry cases, and I asked her, I said, "Honey, you in line?" She said, "No," and she said something. I thought she told me, she said she was waiting on somebody to help her, and then I thought she said, "So go ahead and check out." Well, then apparently that's not what she said, because then she didn't realize maybe what I said, and then she came out there and she was asking me the price on the bottom of this circle drink thing was. I said, yeah, I said, looks like a 4 to me. Looks like a 4. So we were discussing the circle and wondered if she thought it was she was looking it up, how much it cost if you buy it new, if it was a good deal or whatever. She said my kids would just, they wouldn't be able to stand it if they knew somebody else's mouth had been on it. They wouldn't be, you know. We were just talking and carrying on and everything like that. And then the checkout woman come up and she says, "Are you ready?" And then that woman goes, oh, you don't work here? You're not an employee? I said, "No." She said, "Oh, I thought you were helping me." I said, "Well, I thought you meant for me to go on." And we started talking, so I'm just in here talking. She goes, "You know what?" She said, "You're a nice person I met up here." Talking about Salisbury. She said, "Yeah." She said, "People ain't nice up here." I'm like, oh my gosh. So you don't know what talking to somebody will do for their day. You know, I told you the other week, you make eye contact with me, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk. Well, I talked to her today, and apparently maybe that made her feel better because she found somebody that was nice. Now, I mean, I can't speak for what she ran into, what kind of people she ran into, what kind of interactions she had, but for her to say that, it makes you think that maybe a lot of people just aren't nice, which they're not. A lot of people are, a lot of people aren't. You run into some people that if they even thought about smiling at you, their face would crack open like the dry dirt out in the Sahara. And then there's other people that just can't smile and talk enough. So I'm probably in between, because sometimes if I'm not feeling it, I mean, I still smile at people. I smile at everybody, but I don't, if I'm not feeling, you know, extra, I might not talk, but for the most part I do. I'll strike up a conversation with anybody. Listen, I got me a napkin out of my Happy Meal. That's what I got. I got a Happy Meal. Did I tell you? Haven't been back on here to talk to you? Have I? No, I did not talk to you. I got off there at Concord Meals and got me a Happy Meal. I didn't know they were so cheap, because Papa always pays when we go to McDonald's, and me and Jacob share a Happy Meal. Tax and all went $4.28 for a hamburger Happy Meal. I'm like, well, I thought they was like $6 or more. So I was quite pleased with that. I couldn't use my app because I was driving. I have enough points so I could have got it for free, but I was driving, so I couldn't fool with that. But for $4, who cares? So I ate my French fries on the way up here, and I still got my hamburger. And then I got my half and half tea, because I'm here to tell you, excuse me, McDonald's, I don't know about where you live, but down here in North Kakalaki, they make some sweet tea. Now, I grew up drinking sweet tea. I drink sweet tea today, but I don't drink it as sweet as I used to. I can't drink McDonald's sweet tea straight up. I can't drink that high test stuff. Dude, I get it cut. Half sweet, half unsweet. And sometimes if they don't cut it enough, it's still a little bit strong. But I'm gonna run over here to Habitat. Hope there's something good in the free buggy. Listen, let me ask you something. What kind of video should I do? I have got the best response out of my percolator video than any video I have done in a very long time. I'm shocked. Tell me, what was it about that video that got your attention or made you be interested? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to yield, but I'm going fast, so. Because I am a NASCAR driver. I pick on David all the time. Anyway, you know I'm terrible whenever we're watching a race. I don't do it the whole time. I'm not like, make somebody nauseous about it. But I've got to figure out what was it about that video that resonated and try to do more like that. I'm asking you seriously. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm glad, obviously, but I'm just curious. I'm just curious. So, what, other than like porch chatting, we'll get back to when the weather warms up. We'll do more of our chatting on porch, but we always want to do our, knock on wood, our thrifting day, chatting in the car. And then I have mini plan grocery haul. Some people like it, some people don't. I have my weigh in. So, I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, I am at the stoplight for the Habitat, and I will see you. I'll see you. Okay, well, when did I talk to you last? I think it was after, I don't know. Whenever I talked to you last, I know what I didn't show you. I went to the one Goodwill and didn't find anything, and I went to the other Goodwill and check out what I found. Brand new uncandles. I had these as a teenager, and guess what? I still have them. But these were brand new, and it's got the wicks and the little plastic things. What you do is you put water and cooking oil, and it's got a little plastic. Let me see if it's got one in here, if you've never seen it. And these are not to sell. I have some, but I'm keeping them. Okay, it's got one. If you can see that little plastic thing, it floats on top of the oil. Then you stick one of them little wicks in the little hole in the middle of it, and they burn on cooking oil. $2 a piece. I looked. I could easily get my money back at eBay, but those are for me, baby, me. Well, after that, I thought, well, I'll swing by my Habitat, didn't find nothing. I thought, well, let me go look at Salvation Army, didn't find nothing. So, as I was coming out, my gas light come on. I'm like, oh, well, I want to go out here to 7-Eleven where I can save the money. So, Salvation Army is right there at the interstate, and we're right here off the interstate. So I'm like, well, if I got to go to the 7-Eleven right there, and I got to go this close to the Goodwill where I started this morning, I might as well see if anything has changed, come about since today, because you know they're putting stuff out all day long. Well, I found a percolator. It's a silver percolator, but it didn't look good on the outside. I might have would have got it just because, but I didn't. But I think I made myself some good karma, because when I got out right here, there was people left 2 buggies right there on the sidewalk. So I pushed them together and pushed them inside. So look what I got for my good karma. And my gas light is on, but I'm not far from the thing. And remember, it's still Senior Citizen Day, 25% off. Check this out. It was $5.99. Look at that. is that not me? Or is that me? The woman across checking out, when she put stuff out her buggy, she had a thing like a book with a skeleton head sitting on it. I bet this was all together. I'd have got it, but she seen it first. So she had a buggy full of stuff. Boy, let me tell you, she had a buggy full of stuff. Let me put that in there. And then this is my other karma. I don't collect it. So I'm not like, oh, I'm collecting this pattern. I will buy this pattern. I will use this pattern. But this is my vibe. And it was $9.99. So I got it for, well, let's say $10. $7.50. I don't typically pay that, but this is a vintage thing. That's my vibe for my decoration. So I got it. You never find anything like that in these Goodwills, because I'm telling you. Oh, I gotta make sure that is not. They send that stuff to be sold online. You never find anything good like that. Old and vintage and, you know. Oh, where are you going there, honey? So I debated. I stood there and it caught my eye. I'm like, what? And it was like one of those things when you see something, but you don't know if you see what you think you see. You're kind of taken off guard. I was taken off guard when I seen that. And that was a big old van. What is? There ain't nobody behind me. I think I must be getting too close to the van. He parked on me. I didn't park on him. I think it goes to the side. What am I beeping at? And where are you going? Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my. I am so biting my tongue right now after I had that good karma. And then right here in the parking lot of the Goodwill, people going, go ahead, honey. People gonna do me like that. Oh, they all dressed up in green for St. Patrick's Day. I didn't wear none and didn't no strangers pinch me, so we good. So now I'm gonna go down here to the 7-Eleven. Oh, I did buy something at that other Goodwill. It's in the bag. It's too big to show you. The wind was blowing. I don't even know what my hair looks like. The wind has been blowing all day. It's time for a haircut. But it's a big wall thing. It's like a thing like that. It's made out of metal, and it's floral, but it's like it's not vintage in any shape or form, but it looks vintage with its colors, and it will match with the yellows and the oranges and stuff. It'll match. I'm thinking it's gonna look good over my kitchen table, where I have a picture that come from David's grandma's house and my 2 wood sconces. I think it'll drape over that and match, I think. If it's $5. If it don't, it don't. But in my mind's eye, it was looking good. Because when I seen it, I'm like, ooh, I think I can make use of that. So, oh, well, I gotta get gas. I start saying, I should have gone over there to Harris Teeter to get some chicken for supper. Well, I can either come back over here and get him some Harris Teeter chicken, or if my prescriptions are ready, I can get us some, whatever that is. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. It's late. It's 4 o'clock. I'm usually home by 4 o'clock. KFC, that's it. Because they have a like that 7-piece meal, double mashed potatoes, 7-piece meal, and 4 biscuits for $20. And that's way plenty for us. I typically just eat a chicken leg. Last week when I got it, either last week or the week before, I can't remember. I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before. Instead of a chicken leg and some taters, I just eat 2 chicken legs. Normally I just eat 1 chicken leg and let David have all the rest of the chicken, but I was, oh yeah, I got to get some gas. I was feeling some chicken that day. he don't deny me. Don't think I'm eating it because he won't let me have it. You know, every time you say something on video, you don't realize, unless you do videos and you talk to people in some form of way, that you're not conversating with them, like where they can ask you a question in real time. You don't realize how what you say can so be taken out of context, can be leave somebody thinking something that's not even close to being the truth. And so sometimes that's why you'll catch us YouTubers kind of quantifying or qualifying what we say, just in case it sounded a different way, because we're not actually having a two-way conversation. We're talking and y'all are just left to think, okay, I hear what you're saying and let me fill in the rest. No, I do it. It's human nature. You hear what you hear, and then what you don't know, you just kind of think up in your mind. You know, that's what David does. Bless his heart. Sometimes I could pinch his head off. If you don't give him the nth degree, he's already got it figured out in his mind how it is, and that's how it is. Mark it down. Boy, that's been a hard one to learn to deal with. I ain't lying. Bless his heart. And I don't mean that in the snotty way that they say Southerners mean it. I mean that in bless his heart. You know, bless his heart can mean different things. It can mean you're stupid. It can mean you're sweet. You just have to get a feel for it. If you're Southern, when you say bless your heart, bless his heart, bless her heart, it can be not good things, or it can just be endearing, you know? So that's an endearing bless his heart. So that's all I know. I'm going here. I'm supposed to be getting 11 cents off. And like I said, it didn't take no time from that exit I was at to this exit. No time at all. 5 minutes. So it's not like I was having to really go out of my way to get gas and go to the Goodwill again. That's why I thought I'd go. So I guess that is all we will do today, because I ain't going to no more thrift stores. I did go to Shamrock. They didn't have anything, but the lady was up in there, the woman that owns it, and the woman who works there, and then some other older lady. And I went and I said, what y'all doing sitting around plotting and planning? Oh, we just chit-chatting. So they was asking me. I see the one woman every week because she works there. The woman that owns it, I don't see her every week, just sometimes. And as soon as I opened the door, she said, both of them, because the other women I didn't know, but them two, both of them said, we got you a jewelry box. I said, what? She pointed. She remembered me looking for a jewelry box. I said, man, I said, I found me one that, you know, sits on the floor. She said, well, that's more like what you was looking for, ain't it? I said, yeah. So she had remembered, and that was how long back when I got that jewelry box. So I was standing there looking, and see, she hadn't, the one woman sees me every week, and then the owner, like I said, she hadn't seen me in a few weeks. She said, you still losing weight? I said, well, I'm trying. She said, well, you look like you've lost more. How much have you lost? I said, 187 pounds. And they were both like, whoo. I said, listen, I was big. I said, I was a big girl. And so then I said, listen, I'm going to tell you what losing that weight got me to do. So I was telling them about my experience. And so the older lady, she said her husband used to drive at the drag strip. She said he'd been gone 20 years now. But she said he had the car he had before he knew her. And said that there was some girl back then said, oh, she wanted to ride in it. She wanted to ride in it. No, you don't. No, you don't. She said, yes, I do. Yes, I do. He's like, all right, get in. So he got in and flipped that thing back on the back wheels. Said by the time he pulled it back down, she was in the floorboard screaming to get out. I thought, you know what? I had a good time standing there talking to them ladies. It's a shame I don't have girlfriends. I got Joan. She's my girlfriend, but she don't live with me. So I don't have anybody around here that I do anything with. I just do it with me. And if I do it with a girl, it's Holly, you know. So I don't have anybody to hang with. So I just do my own thing. We don't have nobody to hang with. We don't have friends. That sounds terrible. Makes me think of Lucy, Friends of the Friendless. You remember when she thought they forgot her birthday and she was out there in the park and they come along with the drum and all this, and they were friends of the friendless. And oh yeah, we are the friendless, me and David. Well, we've never, our whole entire, then me and my first husband, we had friends. We did stuff with friends all the time. We had friends. Other couples. We did stuff with all kind of different couples and had parties and stuff like that. And ever since me and David's been together, none. Him and his first wife had friends they hung out with and they did things together. But me and David, none. We don't have any. We don't have any friends. So that's just who we are. So, but I enjoyed sitting there chatting with them little ladies today. So anyway, well, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get out of here and pump my gas and head to I'm gonna check CVS and see if they got anything ready for me. And if so, you know what? If I get chicken at Harris Teeter, I gotta come up with something on the side. But if I get my chicken at KFC, I get everything. So I'm probably going to KFC. Just mark it down. Yeah, I got 3 hours before I got to get him up. But that don't mean I ain't tired. And that don't mean he don't like his fried chicken every now and then. Oh, I am going to make him some oven fried chicken this week, though. Oh, it won't kill him. He can eat fried chicken every other day anyway. Fried chicken and taters. He loves fried chicken. His mom always told him he should be a preacher. I said a Baptist preacher because that's what they pick. Baptist preachers love their fried chicken. But he said that his mama always told him, you ought to be a preacher. So anyway, well, let me get off here, and that's all we're going to do today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and tomorrow is going to be another weigh-in, so I'll see you then.